Tomodachi Life, living the dream. On Princess Dragon Island.
Hey y'all, welcome to Princess Dragon Gaming. Today, we will be going over Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. We have played a combined total of 100 hours, so we are pretty much experts now. Let's get into it. Living the Dream is actually the third game in the series. The first, Tomodachi Life, was only released in Japan. The beloved 3DS version is the second game, but it was released internationally. This is a social sim game, so you don't need to know any of the previous games to play this one.
When you first boot up the game, you'll have to create a Mii. The character customization has gotten a lot better compared to the 3DS version. There's a decent amount of face options to choose from. The skin color variety is also wider. You can pick from every color available. There are a lot more hair options. You can pick from a wide variety of sets or pick the bangs and back separately. It's pretty good, but a lot of the textured hair isn't available in the bangs and back section. You can only pick it from sets. You also have the ability to pick any color as well as a sub-color. You can also swap the direction of the hair. Eyebrows have a decent amount of options. Eyes have a lot more customization. You can pick a base eye and then customize different parts. These include lashes, extra lines, eyeshadow, and lights in the eyes. Noses and eyes have a variety of options, but ears are more limited. I do really like the pointy ears they put in. There's more variety in glasses. You can customize the color of the frame and lenses. Finally, there are options for wrinkles, facial hair, and makeup that you can add on. The biggest new addition is face paint. Here you can draw anything you want on your Mii. You can go as simple as an extra mark or draw a hyper-realistic face. The variety of Mii designs I've seen online is endless. If you are confident enough to draw with your finger, or a stylus if you have one, then you can really do anything with a Mii. However, if you draw over your Mii's eyes, mouth, or eyebrows, they won't be able to emote. They'll keep the same expression for every event, they won't blink, and their mouths won't move when they talk. After you finish customizing the head, you can adjust the height and size. If you have other Mii's, they'll stand nearby as a reference, but they won't stand still. They have a tendency to dance or do weird poses while you adjust your new Mii's height. Once that's done, you can put their name, gender, dating preferences, birthday, and age. As we've mentioned, customization is a lot better than the 3DS version, but compared to another Mii title, Miitopia, it could learn a lot from that. There are 10 default voices you can pick from. The first 6 are just child, adult, and old, and the last 4 are bear, mouse, and robot. If you want to make it more unique, you can go to custom and adjust the sliders. You can customize speed, pitch, depth, delivery, and tone. If you spend enough time, you can get a Mii to sound very similar to whoever you're trying to make. My favorite thing to do is to just click random until I get a voice I like. It helps me end up with some pretty funny options.
Once you finish the voice, you can set if your Mii is related to anyone. Then you get to customize their personality. You'll be given a few ranges of 2 different choices. First is slow or quick movement, next is polite or honest speech, then flat or varied energy, then serious or chill thinking. Finally is normal or quirky overall. Although this last one doesn't affect their personality, it seems. It instead seems to influence smaller things. No one is really sure, but it seems to influence speech patterns, dreams, animation speed, and interest in some items. Depending on how you pick, you'll give your Mii a unique personality. This personality will also set the default color of their house and clothes. If you want a specific personality, you can look up guides online to see what options to pick. Once you're done with the personality, you can check all your settings one more time and your Mii is ready to move in. Quirks are a new addition to the series, and they let you customize your Miis even more. You can change how Miis greet each other, how they stand, how they walk, how and how much they eat, what they do when they're angry, and how they talk. There are other quirks that change small things about the Miis, such as giving them an expression they can randomly make when talking, or allowing them to essentially dress themselves. Your Mii can have one of these quirks active at a time. You'll also unlock the random quirks, which your Mii can have multiple of. These aren't really categorized and can range from being able to change their outfit randomly to farting while out in public. I really wish there were more of these quirks. There are 8 quirks, and I honestly feel like that's not enough. And there isn't that much of a variety, especially since this is the only category of quirks where you can have multiple active at once. Once your Miis have moved in, they'll start to have problems they need help with. When a yellow bubble pops up, they may ask for a few different things. They'll say they're hungry, they want a new outfit, want a new apartment style, or they can just ask you a random question. You can solve most of these by going to shops you'll unlock.
The first shop you'll get is Fresh Kingdom Food Mart. This is where you'll be buying all the food for your Miis. I recommend checking it daily and buying all the new food. This way you have access to everything later. For clothes, you'll need to unlock the Wear and Wear store. This store also has a section that switches out daily. I recommend checking it out often so you can grab clothes that you like. The store will have a small collection of base outfits that you can pick from as well. You have the freedom to combine and switch out different pieces, so you're not just stuck with sets. If you want other clothes and costumes, those are usually unlocked from dreams and other events. TNC Reno Home Supplies, where you'll be buying apartment looks. Once a week, there will be a new apartment on display that you can get. There is still a base amount of apartments to choose from if you don't want the special. If you want to unlock more apartments, you'll have to use the wish fountain and do other events. Sometimes the Miis will specifically ask for things you made yourself. You'll have to go to the Palette House workshop to design new items. Once created, it will be sold in the regular store and you can rebuy it at any time. The next type of bubble that will show up is orange. Orange bubbles appear when a Mii wants advice on whether they get along with someone, want to make a new friend, or want to move in with another Mii. Most of the time they'll take your advice, but they still have free will. They will sometimes disagree with what you said if you try to get them to do something they really don't want to do.
When a Mii asks to be friends with someone, they'll ask for a topic of conversation. Here you can type in whatever you want. There are no filters. You can choose between a thing, an activity, a person, or something else. Once you add in new lingo, the Miis will start bringing it up randomly in different conversations. Sometimes, when Miis talk, help, or just see each other, one of them will get a crush. You can tell them whether or not it's love. After a crush is formed, they may ask later if they should go ask out their crush. If you encourage them, you can help them pick where and how they should confess. It's pretty entertaining to witness, and a lot of different surprises can happen during a confession. If they accept the confession, the Miis will start dating. If they reject it, then the Mii will get depressed.
A blue bubble appears when a Mii is depressed. You can give them different items or pat their head to try to cheer them up. There will be a blue bar covering the level bar. Once you make it go down all the way, they will stop being depressed. The last and probably rarest bubble is red bubbles. If two Miis get in an argument, a red bubble will appear. You'll have to calm one of them down so they can try to apologize to the other Mii, although the other Mii may not accept the apology. If this happens, your Mii will become depressed.
After your Miis have dated for a while, one of them might decide to propose. You'll have to support them and stop the distractions in their head. It's a weird bullet hell game where you dodge and shoot the thoughts. You have to do it 3 times and you get 3 lives to complete it. If you get hit, then that thought will interrupt the proposal. If you lose their chance, the other Mii can still propose, but that's not for sure, so try your best. Once you win, they will immediately get married. After the couple has been married for a while, they will start to think about having kids. After they ask, a kid will normally appear the next day or 2. You can customize gender and names, or let the game pick for you. The kid will look like a combo of both parents, and yes, that includes the face paint. Unfortunately, you will not get to raise the kid as you did in the old game. You just get a montage of the kid growing up, and then they'll be grown. They can become a new Mii on your island and interact with your other Miis. It's honestly something we heavily dislike, especially me, personally. I played the 3DS version since I was a kid, and I thought it was cute. You used to be able to help your Miis with their baby, and be able to see them as they were growing up. I love checking in on the Miis, and seeing stuff like the mom cooking while the dad plays with the kid in the living room. The scrapbook we see in this newer version feels so empty and dull. The kid Miis feel like an afterthought. In the 3DS version, seeing them grow and helping their parents really make you attached to them before they are essentially their own person. You just don't get that feeling in the newer version. As you play and your Miis get closer with each other, they can ask to live together. Friends can live with each other, couples will live with each other automatically after they get married, and children will live with their parents until they ask to move out. Miis can ask you whether or not they can live with others in most cases, and they will ask you whether or not you think they should move out. Mii houses consist of one very large room on the bottom floor, which is essentially most of the house. It's a living room, kitchen, dining room, and bathroom all in one. Your Miis will interact here often. Miis will essentially have their apartments moved to the top floors of homes. Since we're on the topic of homes, allow me to discuss some things I think the older 3DS version did right. If you didn't know, Mii couples would be given a home which felt a lot more homier, I guess. You'd be able to see the Mii couple sharing the same bed, cuddling each other. You'd see them interacting in the living room, in their backyard, and in the kitchen. I feel like a lot more often than in the newer version. It felt a lot more real in the older version. Like the couple was really a couple. You'd also be able to see their kid co-sleeping with them, or you'd be able to see their bed right next to their parents' bed. Couples keep their own rooms, which is fine. I mean, they kept their own apartments in the older version, but like there isn't that much detail in their home life, I feel. A lot of interactions they can have is done through those small events that happen randomly, or by making them interact near items. Miis can watch TV together and cook together, but that's about it. And more often than not, I don't see them doing it. This issue is kind of a big thing, considering this game is meant to be an idle type of thing, or a game you open a couple times a day for like 10 to 20 minutes at a time. The tuning for events should be a bit better to give more variety, because if players see the same thing every time, the Miis feel less real and boring. The tuning for events should be a bit better to give more variety, because if players see the same thing every time, the Miis feel less real and more boring. It just feels less natural, less real, and more like Mii couples aren't really connected. The Miis in the new version I feel like interact a lot less with their house, which is wild, considering how big the homes are now. I often found my Miis hanging out in their room, which is fine, but why would they do their large hangouts in there? Like if the whole house is gathering, why would it be in just one Mii's room instead of, I don't know, the giant living room or the comically large dining table?
Let's go over some of the other buildings you'll unlock on the island. Quick Build is how you will get items to decorate your island. Photo Tomo is where you can take photos of your Mii with different backgrounds and poses. Tomoria Restaurant is where Miis will go to hang out and chat. The Marketplace will sell different items at different times of day. Night Market will sell mystery bags, which I love to gamble with. The news has returned. It will appear whenever something new happens on the island and give you a new report about your Miis daily. They are still fun, but feel a lot less unhinged than the previous game's news reports. They feel pretty boring compared to the older game, and we've gotten to the same news stories multiple times. It just feels like there's less than the older game. The older game gave us 2 news stories daily, but with the amount of repeats we've gotten, especially considering there is 1 a day and the game hasn't been out that long, it's maybe for the best that they aren't so often.
Dreams have also returned. When a Mii falls asleep, sometimes there's a ZZZ bubble, and you can click on it to see what they're dreaming about. There are infinite dreams that don't kick you out, and they essentially go on forever until you back out. Ending dreams have a specific ending to them. Interactable dreams are dreams you can impact and play around in. Interactable dreams can either be infinite or ending. These are fun, but I wish there were a lot more dreams. I feel like I've seen the same few dreams over and over again. They're also, in my opinion, a bit less quirky and unique than in the older game, so many just feel like reskins of each other. This problem is especially prevalent with Infinite Dreams. I could just be playing the game too much, but I wish there were more dreams. The wishing fountain will be the central point of your island. After helping Miis with their problems, you'll fill up the fountain and level up. Every level up gains wishes, and you can use these to unlock more things for your island. This includes personality traits, the quirks, customizable items, travel tickets, and more. You can gain a lot with the wishes, so make sure to check the fountain whenever the icon turns orange.
You now have the freedom to customize your island. You can change up the land and add an assortment of different items for your Miis to interact with. With the palette house, you can create some custom items to really make your island unique. I have seen castles, 1984, Twin Peaks, Castletown, and more created on these islands. While the creative freedom to customize your island is great, it isn't perfect. There's a good amount of items, but I have seen complaints that they wish there were more finished sets rather than a variety of random items. For instance, there's some playground equipment your Miis can play on, but not really enough to build a whole park. My biggest issue is that the fences don't touch. There's always a gap between the fences, and it just bothers me so much. I hate it. The game also includes seasonal items you can put on your island. Right now, the spring items are available and are mainly things relating to cherry blossoms. It's a pretty small collection considering we have to wait until summer for the next batch of items. I do like the look of what we did get though, so hopefully future seasonal items also look good. I mentioned earlier that there are different items Miis can interact with. It's entertaining watching them play with different items, and occasionally these will trigger little cutscenes. You might see them grab something weird from a vending machine, or think that they are leading a pack of animals as they ride the toy one. For some reason, Miis will turn the lights on and off repeatedly. Miis will also sometimes ask to add things to the island. You can decline them, but they'll be sad about it. But they do like to put things in the weirdest places sometimes, so don't be afraid to tell them no anyways.
Miis can ask you to play games with them. You should definitely do this, as winning at these games allow you to choose a prize which gives you items to give to your Miis, or to sell. Coin spin is pretty self-explanatory. Your Mii spins a coin and you will have to guess which way it'll land. Shadow quiz is a game where you have to guess the item by the shadow it produces. This can range from really easy to very hard, especially when you're given just the outline of a plate, which could be any dish. This game has 3 rounds to it. Red light, green light is, red light, green light. Pretty self-explanatory. You'll be on a time limit for this one. No repeats is a pretty divisive game. Your Miis will say a food and you have to say a different one. It ends if a food is repeated or if someone says something that's not a food. Multiple Miis can be a part of the game. It can range from pretty long to very short duration wise. I personally like this game, but it's the bane of Draconic's existence. Double shadow quiz is the same as shadow quiz in every way except there are 2 shadows that are overlapping. That's it. Zoom quiz has you guess the item from a very small zoomed in portion of it. There are 3 rounds of this. What's missing has you pick out what's missing from the images in front of you. The third and final round has the objects overlap and they are shown in shadow, making it much harder than the rounds before it. Mii shadow quiz has you guess which Mii the shadow belongs to. Pretty easy. There are 3 rounds. Bowling has you roll a bowling ball into your Miis as they act as pins. You have limited tries to knock them down. Pixel quiz shows you an item with a pixelated filter over it. You have to then guess what the item is. There are 3 rounds to this game. Poke the Ferris wheel only unlocks after you've unlocked the Ferris wheel. You have to poke it with just the right amount of force to get it to stop at the bottom. Moving cups only happens in the cafe, I'm pretty sure. Your Mii will put a coin under one of 3 cups and you have to keep track of where it's at. This happens 3 times with each time getting faster. I haven't gotten this game, but Draconic has. Odd One Out is a game neither of us have gotten as of writing this script. You guess which Mii is different from the others. And now the final game. Latte Art Quiz is a game I haven't gotten, but Draconic has once. This game only happens in the cafe. A Mii's face will be in the foam in a latte, and you have to guess which Mii it is. It gets harder as you keep going, and with the third and final round being nearly impossible in Draconic's words, the Mii's face gets really swirled around, and it's really hard to tell who it is. One of the weirdest and honestly stupid omissions from the previous version are proposal destinations. In the 3DS version, when Mii's proposed, you were able to choose where they did it. Some examples are at the train station, at the amusement park, and at a fireworks show, to name a few. These destinations be places on your island, or they could be unique locations that can't be accessed otherwise. Here, in Living the Dream, you cannot choose where the proposal happens, and perhaps the worst part is it just happens in a Mii's room. What makes this so weird and stupid is that you can choose where your Mii's ask each other out at. Why wouldn't the same system be in place for proposals? It's not like the decision was made to avoid issues for when the player doesn't have all the locations unlocked. There's already a safeguard for that. I cannot see a reason as to why, other than that they did it solely so they wouldn't have to make more animations, which could be a valid reason if this game wasn't from Nintendo. Rap battles / word chain were events that happened at specific times at the water fountain. They were nothing special and they only really existed to give you something to look at and watch, since the Mii's back then weren't really able to interact much outside of their homes. They aren't that big of an issue, and I don't think many people complain about these events being missing, but I think that they could have been fun to see, especially with the expanded lingo feature. Mii's used to be able to cook and sew if you gave them specific items. This was something I personally loved. I love that we could get food and items from our little Mii's. This feature has been completely taken out, and it's instead something that only the player can do. Technically, Mii's cook in their homes, but you can't get what they cook, and it's just for looks type of thing. The observation tower is missing in this new game, and thus so is Quirky Questions, the minigame that took place at that location. The observation tower wasn't anything special, and its only real importance was housing Quirky Questions. Quirky Questions was a little game that allowed you to ask your Mii's some questions. The answers were random, and they didn't really tell you anything about the Miis. It was just something meant to be funny. I'm not too upset or dying for them to make a return. Judgment Bay is a game that happened on the beach. You'd write out 2 options and every Mii on your island would choose one to vote for. The one with the most Miis wins. Like quirky questions, this game was mainly meant to be a way to have fun and create funny moments. I do want to note that many people wish this came back. It's got a lot of fanfare surrounding it because of, I assume, the funny moments they've seen or had. It's essentially a lot easier to have funny moments in this game rather than quirky questions, which explains why this one is a lot more loved and remembered than quirky questions. Again, this game would be a cool addition to the new one, but I ain't dying without it. Compatibility tester is a pretty small thing. Its purpose is in the name. You can see how easy it is for Miis to get along with each other or fall in love. It showed you a relationship forecast that told you how likely it was for Miis to get along with each other for each day of the month. It might have been axed because I feel like testers like those aren't as common or as talked about as they once were. I actually don't think this feature would work all too well here, as Miis are pretty overly nice in this new addition to the series. The rankings board held a bunch of different things your Miis were ranked on, such as the most popular girl, the most popular guy, how much you've spent on each Mii, etc, etc. It's a small thing that held and made info a lot easier to see at a glance rather than doing the calculations yourself. I really don't know why this didn't make a comeback. There's a section in-game to look at your island's info. I think these rankings should really make a comeback. The concert hall is without a doubt the most missed feature from the previous versions. It was a place where your Miis could sing preset songs or songs with custom lyrics. Everyone only really used it for the custom lyrics thing though. I personally never played around with it, but I know it is very dearly missed by a lot of people. I'm not exactly sure why this feature has been taken out, but I would have to assume it's due to the game having no filter to it. The amusement park is missing in the newer title. I know this may seem a bit confusing since there is a Ferris wheel in it, but I wouldn't class that as an amusement park at all. There used to be more rides and attractions. It feels so weird just having a single Ferris wheel in the middle of nowhere, especially when considering that the game has no decor to really go along with it to make it blend in more naturally. The amusement park was home to Tomodachi Quest and the Magic Show. I personally don't care about the Magic Show, and with how it worked in the 3DS version, it would not work with the Switch since the camera would be needed. I think most people don't even remember it, so truly no loss there. However, I do really wish they kept Tomodachi Quest. It was my absolute favorite event. It was a bit long, but it was so immersive to me. It was a great minigame that kept my attention. I truly felt stressed whenever my party's health was low, and I felt so accomplished when I won. I really miss this feature a lot, and seeing the homage, I guess you could call it, in one of the few dreams in the game to it, only makes me want it even more. I'm pretty sure these features were cut in the name of giving players more customization, which I honestly don't understand. I feel like there could be at least one way to add these features back into the game without changing the fundamental design of customization first. The park and its very small events are another thing that isn't dearly missed. As with the previous entries in this section, the park location was likely cut due to the customizable design of your island. Also, the entire island sort of acts as a park now, so that's another factor.
Tomodachi Life living the dream isn't perfect, but we still managed to have a lot of fun with it. I think some of the biggest complaints from other people come from trying to do everything at once rather than playing it over a long period of time. The game is meant to be checked in on in short bursts and not played for multiple hours straight. I think taking your time with this game is the best way to enjoy it. However, the game is still lacking in some areas, and even while taking your time, it starts to get repetitive very quickly. I also think all the Miis are too friendly with each other and wish there was a bit more drama. While I don't think the game is worth the full $60, we put in so many hours into it that it was still worth it for us in the end. If you think you'll have fun with the game, go ahead and get it anyway. Even with some flaws, it's incredibly fun. That concludes our review of Tomodachi Life. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this on our channel. Your support means a lot to us. If you want more game recommendations, we cover a lot of genres, including but not limited to farming, dress up, decorating, dating, etc. Let us know in the comments below what you want us to cover next, and in the meantime, we will keep looking for more great games to recommend to y'all. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye!